Vijayanagar and Bahamani empires. Vijayanagara Empire. Causes for the emergence. What led to the establishment of Vijayanagara Empire? Continuous attacks by the Khilji dynasty of the north. Political instability in the south. Fear factor. Religious turmoil. Need to protect the interests of the Hindus and Indian culture. Origin. Harihara I and Bukharai established the Vijayanagara Empire on the banks of Tungabhadra in the year 1336. Hampi was the capital of the empire. 4 dynasties of Vijayanagar. Establishment of Vijayanagara Empire is considered as a landmark in Indian history. Sangama. Saluva. Tuluva. Arividu, Harihara I, Haka. Founder of the Sangama dynasty, the first among the 4 dynasties that ruled Vijayanagara. Control over the valley of Tungabhadra River. Expanded his control to certain regions of Konkan and Malabar coast. Credited with establishing a centralized administrative setup. Orderly governance which afforded peace, prosperity, and security. Bukharaya, Bukai, defeated the Shambhuvaraya kingdom of Arcot in the Redis of Kandavija by 1360 and the region around Pingonda was annexed. Bukhar defeated the Sultanate of Madurai in 1371 and extended his territory into the south all the way to Rameswaram. By 1374 he had gained an upper hand over the Bahamanis for control of the Tungabhadra Krishna Doab. Restored religious harmony. Constructed forts, temples and promoted agriculture. Bukharaya conquered most of the kingdoms of southern India. Sri Vijayaranya blesses Harihara and Bukharaya. Prabhudevaraya, Devaraya II, was popularly called Hunter of the Elephants and Dakshinapathoda. Chakravarti extended and held territories up to the Krishna River. Conquered areas from Ceylon to Gulbarga, and Orissa to the Malabar. Received royalties from Kerala and Sri Lanka. Religiously tolerant ruler. Constructed mosques and temples. Encouraged literature. Krishna Devaraya, the greatest emperor of the Vijayanagara Empire who reigned from 1509 to 1530. Tackled numerous internal/external problems when he ascended throne. Was popularly called Kannada Raja Rama Ramana, Andrabhaha, and Moruraya Ganda. Was the most powerful of all the Hindu rulers of India at that time. Unparalleled warrior, shrewd commander and political expert, Krishna Devaraya. Military achievements of Krishna Devaraya. Defeated Gangaraja of Amritsar and took over Shivansamudra fort. Assisted the Portuguese against Bijapur sultans. Conquered Kalinga by defeating Gajapati Prataputra. Captured Raipur fort by defeating Adil Shah. He also seized the forts of Bidar and Gulbarga. He freed the prince of Bahamani kingdom by defeating its prime minister Qasim Barid. Krishna Devaraya, other contributions. Provided irrigation facilities for agriculture. Increased foreign trade. He was patron of art, literature and religions. He authored the play Jambavati Kalyana in Sanskrit. There were Ashtadhyagas in his court. Constructed Krishna temple, Virupaksha temple and Maharanga Mantapa at Hampi. Fall of Vijayanagara Empire. Causes for the decline of Vijayanagara Empire. A despotic government. Wars of succession. Weak successors of Krishna Devaraya. Continuous wars with the neighboring Bahamani kingdom. Lack of control over the provincial governors. More attention towards the strengthening of army. Deccan Sultanate's Vijayanagara Empire. Battle of Talikota, 1565. Deccan Sultanates. Ahmadnagar Sultanate. Bijapur Sultanate. Golconda Sultanate. Berar Sultanate. Bidar Sultanate. Vijayanagara Empire. Aliya Ramaraya. Venkatadri. Tirumala Devaraya. Hampi was left in ruins. Aravidu dynasty ruled from Pingonda, Chandragiri, and Vellore. Emergence of independent provincial states. Domination by the Mughals and Marathas. Aftermath of the war. Extent of Vijayanagar Empire. Vijayanagar Empire in India. Extent of Vijayanagar Empire. Battle of Talako, Vijayanagar Empire, Administration. Hereditary rule. Central administration. There were different bodies like State Council Leader, Nayankar, village administrators. Different levels like state, district, village. Provincial officers used to dispense justice/punishments. The Gaudas, Karnam and Talwar used to assist in the village administration. Nada Gaudas and Patan Swami also used to look after the administration. Vijayanagar Empire, Society. Four-tiered caste system. Occupation-based caste system. Practices of child marriage, sati and devadasi were prevalent. Monogamy as well as polygamy was in practice. Women enjoyed dignified status in the society. Holi, Dasara and Deepawali were some of the festivals. Vijayanagar Empire, Economy. Land tax, revenue tax, road tax, market tax, commercial tax, import/export tax were some of the sources of income. Agriculture, jowar, ragi, paddy, lentils, cotton, sugar cane etc. 5 kinds of land holdings, Gini, Guttage, Sadaya, Varna and Gadi. Improved commerce and industry. Spices, diamonds, sandal etc. were exported. Coins of different denominations were used. Vijayanagar Empire, Art and Architecture. Architectural style of Chalukyas, Golas, and Hoysalas. Rough granite stones were used for construction. Vidyashankar Temple at Sringeri, Krishna, Virupaksha and Vijayavithala temples at Hampi. Kamal Mahal, Elephant Stable, Queen's Bath are wonderful examples of Indo-Islamic style. Qualities of grandeur, awe and elegance were features of this architecture. Very strong Hampi fort with 7 circular walls around it. Vijayavithala Temple, Hampi. Stone Chariot, Hampi. Hampi Fort. Elephant Stable. Virupaksha Temple, Hampi. Vijayanagar Empire, Music and Dance. Vijayanagar kings encouraged fine arts like music, dance, drama and yakshagana. Artists enjoyed great respect in palaces and temples. Purnadarudasa and Kanakadasa are greatest Kannada saints who lived in this period. Carnatic music thrived Bayanas and Kirtanas. Dancers performed in temples, palaces and during festivals. Kanakadas. Pure Andhradas. Bahamani Empire. Origin. Alabamuddin Husain Gang Bahman Shah established the Bahamani kingdom in 1347 AD. Muhammad Shah I, 1358–1377, was the second ruler who constructed famous Jamia Masjid in Gulbarga. Tajuddin Firuz Shah was one of the famous ruler who built the city of Firozabad. He was a great scholar who also constructed a planetarium. Till 1426 AD, Gulbarga served as the capital of the kingdom. Mahmud Gawan he was the prime minister of the Bahamani kingdom. He was responsible for efficient administration of the state and military conquests. He captured Konkan, Goa, and Belgaum. Invaded Kanki and plundered its huge wealth. Was beheaded on false charges. He built the great university in Bidar which is known as Mahmud Gawan Madrasa. Division of Bahamani Kingdom. After the death of Gawan, the kingdom became weak and disintegrated into 5 parts. Bahamani Kingdom. Ahmednagar. Bijapur. Farar. Bidar. Golconda. Nizam Shahi, Adil Shahi, Ahmad Shahi, Barrett Shahi, Qutub Shahi, Bahamani Kingdom in India. Extent of Bahamani Kingdom. Division of Bahamani Kingdom. Bakanyari Nyari Bava et Kaya Turat Kaya Baraman. Ibrahim Adil Shah II ascended the throne at the age of 9, ruled for 47 years. He tried to create cultural harmony between the Shias and the Sunnis and between Hindus and Muslims through music. Wrote the book Kitab-i-Navras, Book of Nine Rases, in Dakani. Bakanyari Nyari Bava et Kaya Turat Kaya Baraman. Nors Sir Yuga Jodi Ani Saraguni Yasat Sarasudi Mata Ibrahim Parasada Ba Yiduni. Bahamani Kingdom, Administration. There were hierarchies in administration. Various departments in the administration. Cabinet was called Majlis-e-Ulwith. Sultan was the chief of the central administration. Provinces were divided into Sarkars and Subedar was the head of the Sarkar. Kotwals, Deshmukh, Desai, Kulkarni and Patel were some of the administrators in the kingdom. Village units were independent units. Bahamani Kingdom, Administration. Amir-e-Jamila was the head of the revenue department. Half or one-third of agriculture was collected as a land tax. There were many other taxes collected. 4 types of military troops: permanent troops, troops recruited during wartime, troops for religious wars and units for protection of the royal family. Bijapur Fort was the most formidable fort. Sultan and Qazi were in charge of judicial duties. Bahamani Kingdom, Economy and Society. Agriculture was the main occupation. There were many other minor industries like spinning, oil extraction, pottery, sculpture etc. Dabhol, Rajapura and Goa were Sojma the ports. Export of silk, wine, gold, silver, copper, tin etc. took place. Coins by the name Anu, Lori, Tonka were in use. Undivided patriarchal families, rigid caste system, polygamy existed in the society. Haridases and Muslim Sufi saints enriched the music and literature of this era. Bahamani Kingdom, Education and Architecture. Islam-centric education system. Maktabs and madrasas were the centers of education. Mahmud Gawan established a huge 3-storied madrasa in Bidar. It was 242 feet long, 222 feet wide and 56 feet tall. It had a big library with 3,000 manuscripts. Subjects like astronomy, grammar, maths, politics, religion, law, poetry were studied in colleges. Sultans developed Indo-Saracenic architecture. Gol Gumbaz, Ibrahim Roza, Gagan Mahal were some of the greatest monuments built during this time. Jamia Masjid, Bijapur. Jamia Masjid, Gulbarga. Gagan Mahal, Bijapur. Ibrahim Roza, Bijapur, Bidar Fort. Gawan Madrasa, Bidar. Gol Gumbaz, Bijapur.